part of the interdiction squad. But right now, finances has kept every agency in the district except Harrison County from appointing a man. And then it's not just finances, it's anything that's, the drug problem is like the economical system. You've got supply and demand. As long as you've got people out here running, gunning all day long to get pills, there's a market. And those people in Florida are going to be able to sell their pills. We've got to start, I think, when we talk about the family structure that Mr. Yoakley did, we have got to reduce the demand before the supply problem ever is a problem. Because if you reduce the supply before you reduce the demand, it's like snow day at Food City. If somebody says snow 8 inches, you keep finding a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk at Food City. And then everybody goes in a rage to get to every store that's got milk and bread. But you take all of those pills out of a community at one time, and you've got all these people still wanting those pills, that's when your violent crime is going to erupt. That's when your home burglary is going to increase. That's when people are going to be spotting people at pharmacies like they do in bigger cities now. We're blessed here and don't realize it, I think, lots of times, that we don't have people following people to the drugstore. And one example that I told Mr. Collins that I want to use this forum for is educational. You know, when you're standing at a pharmacy, and I do want to give a good solid shout out to our local pharmacists. They don't fill Florida prescriptions. You can't go to Jabbo or any of our local drugstores, Town and Country or Wilson to get it filled. But Food City, Steve, Ocean won't fill them. And I appreciate that they've blessed our county by not doing that. They're having to get them filled somewhere down in Florida or Alabama or Georgia. But what we've got here is a situation where Florida is fixing to cut this off. They have passed laws to address it. They're going to have, we can get a 3-day supply. You can make it. You know, if I'm in Florida at Disney World, step off a ride and raise my leg, I want to get something if I'm hurt bad. And I need enough pills to get me to Newport. But I don't need enough pills to last me 3 months. Florida's going to do that. They're putting in place some regulations where you can't be a felon, you must be a medical care provider to be able to supply these drugs, and that's going to make a difference. But supply and demand comes back into effect. You're going to have all of these people that aren't healed, that aren't getting well, that want that pill just as bad today as they did when there's 800 of them. Now there's only 100 of them. That's when your problem starts. We have got to look at education, teaching our community, don't be a victim. If you're standing in a drugstore and you say, hey, Johnny, it's good to see you, I'm glad you're here today. Your mom all right? Oh yeah, I'm just getting my OxyContin pill. If I say that in this room, everybody in this room doesn't need to know that I'm having OxyContin pill. Everybody in the pharmacy doesn't need to know I'm having OxyContin pill. And when they follow you out of that drugstore, they're not following you home to make sure your cat's all right. They come in to rob.
And a lot of these home invasions now are dealing with people that are selling the pills, right. And then the people they're selling to come back and do a home invasion to steal their pills. Armando, do you have something? Oh, okay. I saw you standing. Yes, ma'am.
I do.
Come to the mic, please, and identify yourself.
I live on Navajo Drive, and the neighbor beside of me has been selling drugs. And when I was on my way down here, the street was loaded, and I know he's been busted before. But what's been done about it, he's right back at it again. So what's going to be done about this? I have grandchildren that stay with me, and I can't let them out and ride and play without them out there with them, because I'm scared of the drug patrol that's going and going. And I'd like to see something done. If there's something I can do to help, watch, whatever, I'm willing to do it, but I want to get it stopped.
Without being able to divulge any investigative techniques or any ongoing investigations, I assure you that we get several calls regularly on the Navajo Drive. When the signs first went up downtown, they had a blank out that they were selling drugs. Myself and Deputy Chief Pension went directly to Mr. Webb and explained to him what's going on, and that had to stop. But he has since had a push-in robbery, was a victim of a home invasion robbery. And again, as Mr. Ball said, if you'll look at these robberies, Captain Lamb worked on a local motel not long ago, where people want to report their money stolen. It was actually a dope deal gone bad. Robbery, in the eyes of the law, black and white written law, is a statute. But somebody stealing your pills or busting your head over their pills, your pills, is not the same as standing at the bank and somebody walking and stick a gun in your face and take all your money. These people are making themselves victims by being drug dealers. And I assure you, we are not only working with just the 4th Judicial District Drug Task Force, we work with the Appalachia Highland Drug Task Force, and we're also working with the state and federal agencies, both DEA and FBI, to work to make cases. I mean, and I want to use an example of the White Oak Avenue area, Jones Hill. We had complaints for about 18 months when you going to do something about these crack dealers. Well, about the end of about 18 months, we rolled into federal indictments and sent people away from here for the rest of their life. One of the defendants actually shook my hand in the Greene County Jail before I left him when we took him to custody and said, I'll never see you again, because he knew he was going to do a life sentence. So running and buying a pill off somebody raiding their house is not the big productive. When we can do an investigation, anybody can buy pills. I mean, that's the process. But conducting a good investigation legally that the Attorney General's office can prosecute and getting these people sentences that are not automatically alternatives to prison. I mean, Mr. Duncan addressed community alternatives to prisons, because we get somebody selling dope doesn't mean they're going to quit. And one thing that I learned, and I worked undercover for 13 years at the task force, when you catch somebody, they're going to come out and run like a scalded dog and catch every cell they can catch until they get locked up in prison. And that takes the time. They're entitled to bond unless they're non-bondable. Some cases are non-bondable. Some people have criminal activity, criminal history that cause them to be non-bondable. But we keep stopping them going right back at it. We have to continue to investigate. And the Constitution, and I think that Luke addressed it best, it seemed to be in place to protect the violator. You hear more about the violator's rights and who violated their rights and who took their rights away and they get a case dismissed. We all have the same rights. And the legislature, lots of times, not the problem. It's those people who legislate from the bench, those Supreme Court judges who throw out cases based on a bad search, which has been a good search for my 28-year career. Now all of a sudden it's a bad search. Those are the kinds of things that hurt us, and we have to stay within those parameters of the Supreme Court ruling. And they come out this year that changes something we've done for 28 years. But it's not just fight over put people in jail. Investigation leads to bigger sentences, which leads to more community safety.
Kenny. While Kenny's going to the map, you know, the officers, I have an unusual hobby of riding with the sheriff's department and I enjoyed it immensely, and I have learned more as to the laws and what's going on in our county out with these guys, seeing them bust their rear end to put people in jail. But you know, when you have a guy just recently, probably had 5 previous DUIs, 5 previous HMVO, and then has all kinds of paraphernalia in the vehicle, and to my knowledge is out on the street again today. You know, there's something wrong with that situation. Well, whatever, Maurice, what was the law a few years ago where if you had so many 2 DUIs, what happened?
But it used to be you went to jail and you lost your driving privileges, and now, and Mr. Duncan addressed it, we can charge you with anything. But if a bondsman comes there and makes your bond, it doesn't matter. If that bondsman walks away and you're walking away with your freedom, you can go right back to selling dope that day. It's not. I mean, the system's, it's got its weaknesses, but we do everything. We have to do it within the law, or we'll just well not do it. I don't want to catch it up there and give him notice that we're watching him, and then him walk away because we made a mistake. Didn't completely stay within the parameters of the guide.
Most of you all know me. I'm a business owner. My name is Kenny Myers, and what concern I had was what you mentioned earlier, Maurice, was about the bonding issue. There was a certain case that interests me whenever our store got broke into, and the actual person that was convicted with it got actual bonded out. And I think that we need to do a tight-knit sort of system better on the bonding issue, because these people are bonded out faster than you all can get reports from. And I wish there was some type of way we could, we could micromanage that. because they are getting bond faster than you can get a courtroom. And they're getting out doing the same thing over and
Mr. Dunn and I had a conversation last week during the breaks during the murder trial. There's got to be accountability. My guys are, and I can't say enough about our guys that bought into our system. They're actually getting out here hustling, putting people in jail. And when you walk over to the jail and put somebody in jail with multiple felony accounts, and they've been convicted 2 times before, and a bondsman walks in there and makes their bond for nothing, they're right back on the street of your store that night.
exactly, that's what I'm talking about. Is there some kind of way we can micromanage these bondsmen from allowing, and for example, those guy told me that his bond got dropped from 20,000 to 10,000, and there's no way, you know, that a certain type bondsman